Do you feel stuck at your current level? And do you feel like you're never going to reach the level of fluency that you want to reach? I have 3 steps to share with you today to help you reach the level of fluency that you want to reach. You can think of your fluency journey as a mountain. I'm not the first person to use this metaphor, but I'm going to use it again today because it paints a really good picture. It really shows us what it means to go on the journey to fluency. So think of fluency as a mountain. And at the top, this is the peak. This is the place you want to reach. This is where you will feel fluent. So for me, I usually get stuck about 80% up the mountain. I just feel so tired, like I've worked so hard, and I can see the top of the mountain, but I feel like I'm never gonna get there. These are the 3 steps that I take when I feel like I'm never gonna get to the top of my fluency mountain and reach level fluent. So to reach level fluent, you have to, step 1, go back to the beginning. So this might seem a little backwards. You have to go back. What I mean here is you need to go back to the reason that you started this journey in the first place. Why do you want to be fluent? What is being fluent going to bring you in your life that you wouldn't have if you could never be fluent? I want you to get out a notebook or a piece of paper, somewhere where you can write down the reasons that you started working towards being fluent. And write down how you're feeling right now. Also, answer the question, why do you want to keep learning? Maybe what you wanted at the beginning is not what you want now. So you can look at the difference. If your goal has changed, you also need to change the way that you study. This brings us to step number 2. You're going to focus on the specific. You're going to focus on the specific things that you need to achieve to reach the goal. And this is your current goal, not the reason that you started your fluency journey, but the reason that you're still on this journey. For me, I reach a certain level and I realize that it's really hard for me to tell stories in another language. So I like to focus on mastering a few phrases. Like the other day I was at the store or a phrase like, and then she said. Another phrase I focus on mastering is, and you know what happened next? Or, I couldn't believe it, but another good phrase that I practice is, have you heard about the anything? These are all example phrases that are very common when you're telling a story. So if you can get these phrases down, you can start to tell your stories easier, and this will work in any situation, with friends, with family, at work. Humans, we're always telling stories. So if you can work on your storytelling skills, you can start to feel more fluent. Step number 3, I want you to focus on your environment. So there are really 2 things here. You need to focus on speaking, of course. All right, you know you need to speak more, but just reassess. So look at what you're currently doing and see if you need to change who you're talking to and what you're talking about. Think about certain topics that you feel like you want to express yourself more, express yourself better when these topics come up in conversation. And bring those topics up when you have a chance to talk to people in the language, so that you're getting a chance to practice the topics that you know are difficult for you. Also make sure that you have the right materials in the right place. So Maybe you need to listen to more podcasts in your car. Make sure that you bring your iPod with you into your car. And make sure that you already have the podcasts or interviews or any audio loaded onto your iPod. These are just a few examples of things you can do to focus on making your environment more helpful, more conducive to helping you reach the top of Mount Fluency, to getting you to level fluent. Let's review those steps. Step number 1, go back to the beginning. Reassess your reason for wanting to become fluent. Step number 2, focus on the specific. Work on key phrases or topics. And step number 3, focus on your environment. Put yourself in situations and have conversations where you can practice what you need to practice and have all your study materials on hand. Comment below, what do you need to change about your current studies to help you get to level fluent? Make sure to click here or here. You'll see a link popping out and you can click on it. It'll take you to a guide that I put together for you on improving your spoken English. Make sure to download my free guide and start using these tips today to improve your fluency. See you next time. I'm Sabrina.